Harvey Elliott's actually went out there to help Milner out. And they're sort of playing like a 4-2-4, which means the spaces that we're going to have is going to be in and around Fabinho and Thiago, with Gundogan, with Bernardo Silva, and obviously with Rodri there. But I've never seen a Liverpool, and there's huge respect to Manchester City, play as deep as they have done.
At Anfield.
At Anfield as well. You know, it's a 4-4-2 stroke 4-2-4, and everybody's back. And they're looking to it as in the break. I've never seen... Be interesting to see the stats, how many long balls I've actually played today, because every time they do win it back, they're just looking to get Salah or Jota in behind. But the chances will come. You know, we've dominated, as we know we would do. But I would just like to see us work it a bit more, where we got Phil Foden one-on-one with James Milner. Yeah. You know, got to give Harvey credit because he's gone back in there and helping him out. But I think that position down our left-hand side is where we'll win the game today.
Yeah, there was points in the game. There's been quite a few hoofs from both teams, to kind of put it lightly there, Shaun. Often, you know, we will stay calm, play a ball out, and it's the same for Liverpool as well. Do you think it's just a result of just the pressure that both teams are putting on each other?
I think for Liverpool, I would say it was the result of pressure. I think Man City's in a better off position and a better way and mind frame than Liverpool are. I think for Man City, it was more of let's not concede an early goal from one of these long balls that they keep raking in. So let's give it back to them. Well, not give it back to them, let's clear our lines and move up and get everybody in position. And I think once that happened and Liverpool kind of saw they weren't really getting through from it, then the game for us is certainly settled down and we started dictating the game again.
Yeah, definitely. So the biggest chance of the game comes, of course, from Erling Haaland. Another magnificent world-class ball from Kevin De Bruyne. My goodness, there was some phenomenal balls in that first half from both teams. Before I get the guys' thoughts on that chance, we can go back over to South Africa and see how they reacted to that chance.
Here is Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, and then this is us. This is us reacting to it.
That's the first time I've tried to head a ball there.
Yes, I think we often forget that the cameras continue rolling in this studio.
Going to have to be careful in our second half, I think.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
What did you make of the Haaland chance?
The ball from Kevin De Bruyne was phenomenal. Had to be inch perfect, and our Gomez is going to get back there. And he's done everything right. He's hit the target. I think the pace on the ball just died as he went to hit it. But the chances will keep coming and coming and coming. You know, Erling had another one just sort of down inside James Milner, between Milner and Gomez, where he just tried to lob it over Alisson. And the more we keep probing, the more the spaces are going to open up, especially with the quality that De Bruyne has got.
There was a few really good balls. One of my favourites was when Foden took a wide pass that came all across and he took it down on his thigh and controlled it. I was just like, how does he make that look so easy?
Well, he's a master of the ball. His control and how he receives balls in small areas. Early in the game, he received the ball, and I was like, how has he gotten out of that? He's phenomenal. It's really good ball skills. But just talking about that Kevin De Bruyne cross, I mean, that cross just took Gomez out. And as a defender, Gomez is in the absolute correct position. And he's thinking, if you're defending, you're saying, this is where you want your defender to be. And his pass is just taking Gomez totally out. And it's just, for me, it's just the angles against Haaland in terms of he's beyond the far post. So to generate the header to get it, and as Paul says, the ball's dying a bit, to generate the power to get it back to the far post, would be an extremely brilliant header. So he's not able to generate it back that way. But the pass was like worthy of a goal. It really was. I mean, I jumped up because I was thinking it was going to come with a goal. But I think, you know, we'll for me, I think if we can get Haaland with a chance central, he hasn't had a chance that we say this is a really good chance. The header was decent, but again, I think the angle's slightly against him.
Now, if you would like to send in any questions, as always, please do use that WhatsApp number that is on your screen, and I'll either try and get through some at half-time or I will definitely ask the gents at full-time. So use that to ask them any questions at all that you would like. In terms of the second half, looking at the benches, Paul, ours is certainly stronger overall, but certainly in an attacking capacity. Are you expecting any changes from City anywhere early in the second half?
I don't think Pep tends not to make changes early. I know he took Erling off at half-time, but he'd already scored his goals by that point a few weeks ago. But no, I think much more of the same, really. Look to get the overloads on Liverpool's full-backs. But then if we do need it, we've got people like Jack Grealish, Riyad Mahrez, Alvarez. We've got top quality forward players to come on. But I wouldn't expect to see any changes unless there was an injury for about 60, 70 minutes to see how the game's gone.
They, of course, have got Nunez on the bench, but apart from that, not too many attacking options, Shaun. Do you expect any changes from Liverpool?
No, I think Klopp will be happy with the result and the way his team sat deep. I think if he brings on Nunez, it takes something away from him, because he isn't going to do what Bobby does or what Salah does in terms of tracking back, although they don't track back that much or work that hard when they're in those areas. They fill those spaces just to give us an extra body to pass through. So I don't think he'll make a change there. If he does, it'll be late on, because then he'll think maybe we can snatch it here 1-0. And then they would just go back to how they started the game, I think, where it's just more direct, angled passes to get Nunez in behind.
What are you hoping to see from City in this next 45?
Well, as Paul said, much of the same. I think, tactically, I think if our centre-backs, when we have the ball, I think that space between their two defensive midfielders, I think sometimes if we're able to find that pass into Haaland to then be set for Bernardo or De Bruyne, I think that could actually hurt them in that situation there, because then we're now facing behind their midfield to then slide passes and even drive and commit. So I think we can exploit that a little bit more.
I think we've looked to do that a couple of times, that little bump pass into Haaland, to get it knocked off, and then for whether it be Gundo, Kev or Phil to be that third man running.
Maybe even the defender look for that pass straight off the back, because Kevin pulls wide anyway, whereas the holding midfielder won't go that far.
No, they don't want to come out to that area. Yeah.
It has got a feel about the game that if we are to get the first goal, it does feel like that'll be really pivotal. Like, we will have the opportunity then to go on. The crowd were starting to get into the game more as it was going on, because they were flat at the start. I mean, massive shout out to all the City fans that are in Anfield. If if you're watching this and you've got family at Anfield, tell them we can hear them. They are loud. The Liverpool fans started to get into it as the game went on, but a goal from City, that would silence them again.
It does, and look, I think Klopp will probably be quite happy with the shape that they've got defensively and making it difficult for us. If we manage to get, which I'm sure we will, manage to get that first goal, they're going to have to open out. Whether it is bringing Nunez on, or they're going to have to take a defensive player off, and we've seen it loads of times with Man City. Once you open up as a team and you try to get at us, that's when we're at our best.
Yeah.
Did we decide what the formation was, by the way? I feel like Goats did a really good job of skirting that question there. I've just realised, did we ever decide what it was?
Well, we had obviously a few discussions while we was watching it, and at times we was happy with the three centre-backs, with one wing-back and the rest in midfield, and then obviously Haaland and obviously Foden. But then at times it looked like Foden was actually a left wing-back as well, so we was fluttering between both formations, really.
It's almost like a 3-4-3, but the 4 is like a box 4. Bernardo Silva was coming inside alongside Rodri, and then you had the Gundogan and KDB creating that box, if you like. So you still had your 3. So almost like.
So in that formation, you would have Joao Cancelo as the front 3.
Well, that's what it looks like at times.
That's what it looks like.
We're attacking.
To answer your question, Natalie, we don't really know.
Can we phone a friend?
We talked about it all through the first half, and I kept saying, I cannot believe this. We've got the real legends, and we cannot work out what they're playing. But I just love the idea that Joao Cancelo is finally part of that front 3, where we know he's been edging there throughout the season, and rightly so.
But look, if we're trying to work it out, it's a back 3 in possession, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Pushing on, and as Shaun said, the Phil Foden's like the wing back sometimes. But if we have watched 45 minutes of that and we're still trying to work it, imagine what it must do to the opposition manager, coaching staff and players for them to try and work it out. It must be so difficult to play against.
I love it. I love it. It really keeps us on our toes, at least in the studio. I hope you're enjoying it. In fact, if you have an opinion on what the formation is, do let us know. Use the WhatsApp number, send it in. Perhaps between us all, we'll work it out. Now, tomorrow night, I want to let you know about a very special show that we have. A Monday night show when there's no games taking place. What are we doing? Well, tomorrow night is, of course, the Ballon d'Or. The award ceremony is taking place where the world's best footballers will be recognised. As I'm sure you are already aware, quite a few City players have been nominated. Quite a few City players will be in that top 30 players in the world. So from 7:25 tomorrow night, you can join us. You're sticking around?
I'm thinking about it.
He might stick around, and we'll have some other special guests as well. Right, we'll be back here at full time talking about, hopefully, City's 3 points. Back over to Ali Mann and Michael Brown, who have your commentary for the second half.